Napoli fans around the world, welcome to Napoli Talk. Napoli have just drawn 2-2 against Milan at the San Paolo. Now, it is a game that we fully deserved to win, however, we weren't able to, which is disappointing. But on the other hand, Milan, the last three of the four games, they beat Roma, Lazio, and Juve, and they absolutely dominated those games. So, actually, to come away and play better than them and at least get a draw should be good news. And let's remember that Napoli are just playing these games in the Serie A to make sure that we reach the Barcelona game in the Champions League with the best form possible, because it doesn't really matter where we finish in the league anymore. Now, before I start, I need to apologize to you guys. There won't be any special graphics in this video like always. That's because the game ended very late and I don't have the time to make them. I have to go to bed. Tomorrow is a big day for me. So apologies, but I do want to make this video and use my notes to make sure I get my opinions across to you guys and make sure we have that conversation that we always have after each game. So let's start with the key moments in the game. So I thought that Napoli played really well the first few minutes. We had very good passing between the players and we did create four really good chances. The first one came with Mertens, who did a slalom in between the Milan defenders inside the box, shot his usual curling effort, but Donnarumma, who's a great keeper and had a great game, was there to save it and put it in corner. Then we had a really good shot with Insigne, who Donnarumma once again saved, and actually it went on to the post. And then again, Mertens down the left-hand side cuts in and puts in a great ball for Callejon, who from 5 meters out puts it straight onto Donnarumma. And really that's a classic thing that we see with Callejon. He's not that great in front of goal. And then another shot that we had was with Zielinski, his effort just wide off the post from right outside the box. And even though we were dominating this game, we had all these great chances, it was Milan who scored the first goal with Theo Hernandez. And I was extremely disappointed with the way we conceded this goal. So if you guys look at the highlights, you can see that basically Callejon had him in his peripheral vision, but then totally lost him. And you know, Theo Hernandez, he's Milan's star player of the season, and so to lose a player like that and not follow his run is extremely disappointing, especially for someone like Callejon, who is so good defensively. But anyways, Koulibaly steps up in the first half when the whole team is looking down. He takes the initiatives, he's winning all his aerial duels, he's winning all the tackles, and then he goes on two amazing runs from defense all the way to attack, charges at the Milan team, and he wins a very crucial free kick, which we used to score our goal. Insigne crosses it in, and Di Lorenzo is there to slot the ball in after Donnarumma fumbles it. So we go into halftime 1-1, and we seem to be back on the front foot. And Mertens scores right at the start of the second half, on the 60th minute mark. Mario Rui gets the ball, goes down and attacks the Milan defense, cuts in right the middle, gives it to Callejon, who then pulls it back for Mertens, who makes a great movement to free himself from any Milan defender, and the shot's deflected. Donnarumma maybe could have saved it, but it doesn't matter. It's 2-1 for Napoli, and from there it seems like it's downhill, because we were dominating the game. We were so much more superior to Milan, and in fact, you know, Gattuso thought it would be a good idea to put on Demme instead of Lobotka, because that way we could really control that game and hold on to the 2-1. But unfortunately, Maksimovic gives away a very clumsy penalty, and you know, the referee should have gone to the VAR at least to go and see if that was actually a penalty or not, because for me it's 50-50. I can understand why he gave it. You know, Maksimovic did catch I think it was Bonaventura, but at the end of the day, the referee needs to go to the VAR monitor and check, because he also did get part of the ball. Anyways, Kessie scores and it's 2-2, and from that point on, Gattuso puts in a lot of attacking players. He puts on Milik, he puts on Politano, he puts on Lozano, but Milan play a really dirty game, lots of fouls. They even get red carded at the very final minutes, and so it's very difficult for Napoli to do anything in those circumstances when Milan is basically killing all our players anytime they touch the ball. So the game ends 2-2, unfortunately, even though we fully deserved the win in that. I think Milan only had 2 shots, one with the Teo Hernandez goal and one with the Kessie penalty. So, and you know, it is what it is. So anyways, let's go on to the player ratings. And now I can't remember everything for every single player, so I do have my notes. Apologies for that. So Ospina, he had nothing to do. He was only really called upon for the penalty, and we can't expect him to save penalties, so he gets a 6. Then I'm going to go on to our wingbacks, Di Lorenzo and Mario Rui. They both get a 7. Mario Rui, because of his forward runs, great passing. He won several headers, and he's one of the shortest guys on the fields, and he won a header against Ibrahimovic in the first half. Great effort from Mario Rui. And then Di Lorenzo, a 7. He's not proposing as much as he used to in attack, but he did actually end up scoring a very opportunistic goal, and so that's all we ask for players, to be at the right moment at the right time. So they get a 7. Maximovic, he had a great game. If it wasn't for that penalty, he was a bit slow and clumsy in there, so he gets a 6. It would have been a 7 for him as well otherwise, because really the Milan attackers were kept very quiet throughout the whole game. Then we got Koulibaly, who is my man of the match. He gets an 8. What an amazing performance. I've talked about what he did in the first half, but I also want to stress what he did outside of the game as well. He talked about how he wants to stay at Napoli, how he went on a call with Osimhen and told him not to worry about Napoli and the racism in Italy, because Napoli is actually one of the least racist cities in the world probably. So really a great leader both on and off the field. Fully deserves an 8 for that performance and his off-field actions. As for Deme Lobotka in the center of the field, they get a 6. That's basically them having an average game. A center defensive midfield when the other team isn't really attacking much, doesn't really do more than a 6. Then we have Zielinski, Fabian and Elmas, who get a 6.5. I thought they played a good game. Great passing, looked very lively, but at the end of the day, they're the type of players that we expect them to either come up with a goal or at least an assist, to make sure that we win games like these where we're dominating and we have the ball. Unfortunately, they didn't do that, so really a very, I wouldn't say average, but they didn't do enough, so 6.5. As for Lozano and Politano, who came on in the second half, I think they also deserve a 6.5. They both looked very lively. They didn't have a lot of chances to show anything because Milan, at the end of the game, they really closed themselves down quite a lot. So it's very difficult for them to do anything, but at least they got the ball, had some initiatives, and the desire was there. I do think Lozano needs to start the next game for sure. Let's move on to Insigne, 7. He's so consistent with these 7, 8s, 9s recently. He goes back in defense, he creates lots of chances, he assisted Di Lorenzo for the first goal. Really a great player, and just makes things happen for us, and you could really tell the difference when he's on and off the field. As for Mertens, he deserves a 7, so great goal. His movement was fantastic. People might look at that goal, might think it's a little nothing special, but look at his movement to free up that 1 or 2 yards to get a shot away. And then obviously he had several chances in the first half that Donnarumma saved, or he could have assisted Callejon, who missed. And then moving on to Callejon, so that miss was very big in the first half. A player that plays for Napoli in attack needs to score from 5 yards, no question about it. And then a big mistake for Teo Hernandez to score again in the first half. So he would have been at a 5 if it wasn't for his assist for Mertens. So I'll boost him up to a 6, and he bounced back very well in the second half. He's so strong mentally, and so a 6 fully deserved. And then finally Milik, 4. I think that's the lowest I've ever given anyone since I started Napoli Talk. He basically, when he comes on, we play in 10. So when Milan got a red card at the very end, we were finally 10 against 10. Because Milik is he provides nothing for us. And I don't think Gattuso should ever put him on again. His head is clearly not with Napoli anymore. And then he had a free kick on the 90th minute that he took the responsibility to kick. And he shot it to the stars. So yeah, a 4 for Milik, and Gattuso 6.5. Definitely can't score too highly when you put on Milik instead of Mertens. Other than that, I did like his initial formation and the way we attacked Milan, the way we played, and the way we created a lot of chances. And I gotta give him credit for not taking off Callejon at the start of the second half, because I would have done that because of how bad he was playing in the first half. But Gattuso stuck with him and he managed to assist Mertens, which was great. Anyways guys, apologies again for the lack of edits in this video. I still hope you liked it, and if you did, then smash that like button, subscribe to the channel to see all the other post-match reviews and much more, and make sure you share this video to all the other Napoli fans that you know. And as always, Forza Napoli sempre!